Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, I wanted to talk about why I think we're going to be getting another festival event this Friday here in NBA 2K25, my team, what to do potentially in preparation for said festival event, as well as, again, kind of my thoughts on what that event would probably look like. So before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Here is the main reason, put very simply, as to why I think we will probably be getting an event this weekend is 2K has been making a buttload of money off of these festival events. Their revenue in the first quarter this year was up like 40% for 2K because of these festival events, in large part, I do believe. And you can see that 2K has been dropping them significantly more consistently, really since season 5 in the Bracket Busters Festival. We got this Bracket Busters Festival with 2 weeks left in season 5, if I am not mistaken. And then it basically went through the end of season 5, which is, yeah, that's correct, because it was the 5th Friday drop of 6 during those seasons. So with 2 weeks left before the season ended, we got the Bracket Busters Festival. Then we got in season, oh, I went the wrong way. In season 6, week 2 was the Signature Series drop, which had the Signature Series Festival. So they went 2 weeks, the season 6 started, and then a week into season 6, basically the second week drop at the beginning of week 2, they dropped another festival. That Signature Series Festival went all the way from the second week to third week was Prime, fourth week was Pantheon, and it ended there in Pantheon. So we didn't have a festival from the week of the Pantheon drop, but that literally lasted 1 week. We had 1 week with no festival, and they dropped another festival, the Glitched Festival. And that obviously had some really great cards in it as well. But the interesting thing is, obviously earlier this year, 2K was only doing festivals, like they did the Dia de los Muertos Festival was the first one. It didn't have Hoff boxes in it, but that one came out at Halloween. They didn't do a festival for Thanksgiving, but then they did the Winter Festival over Christmas and over New Year's, and that's when they first introduced the Hoff box as well, was the beginning of season 4. Basically at the end of the Winter Festival is when they first introduced the or I guess, was it the Hoff box at the time? I forget exactly what it was called back. I believe it was still a Hoff box, if I'm not mistaken. And then season 4, we go the entire season without a festival until the very end, where we get the All-Star Festival, and that is I would say probably the pinnacle of my team this year was that All-Star Festival. Just truly incredible for making MT, grindability, rewarding your team, like just really, really well executed all the way around. And then in season 5, again, we go with the majority of the season without a festival, and we get a Bracket Busters Festival, which again is either it's related to something important going on in the time period. In season 6, they said screw that, and they dropped a Signature Series Festival and a Glitched Festival. Those had nothing to do with anything like the other ones did, where it was either Halloween, Christmas, like a holiday, or something like the All-Star Break or March Madness, for example, where it was more connected to something going on in real life, either time period wise or in basketball. And so I think realistically, well, the season 6 festival, the Glitched Festival, ended at the end of season 6. We are now a week into season 7, second week of the season, just like with Signature Series, would make a lot of sense for us to get a festival event, just mathematically. And realistically, they have a really easy thing to call this festival as well. They could call it like the Champions Festival or something like that, because the playoffs are going on and we're getting towards the point where a champion is going to be decided. You know what I mean? We're in the conference finals, which is like the conference championship, and then you have your NBA championship, and like I think it's the perfect time for them to drop something along those lines, and they could do it with like a bunch of rewards of players who were contributors to championship winning teams and stuff like that, and do a bunch of players like that. And I mean, you have some really, really easy, obvious headlining type of names that you could drop for a drop of like that. One being, and this feels like the type of card who we would absolutely see in a festival if he were to come out, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has not gotten a card above Dark Matter. Would be like a no-brainer invincible. Even like if they wanted to make him the first GOAT card, they could do that as well. That would be another option. Obviously, Kareem, I think, would be a no-brainer option as a headliner option. Another guy who would make a lot of sense as a headliner, and yes, he's gotten a card, but it was a while ago. Only the second week of 100 overalls was 100 overall Michael Jordan. We already saw Shaq, who came out the week after MJ, get an invincible card. I could totally see an invincible MJ, or again, a GOAT MJ dropping here in the near future, because they've already shown that they'll drop cards that already have 100 overalls now, with Shaq having gotten that invincible. Why wouldn't MJ make a lot of sense to fill that as well? Obviously, Kareem and MJ both having won multiple rings, MJ with 6. Kareem, I believe, has 5, if I'm not mistaken. No, Kareem, I believe, has 6 as well, doesn't he? Because the Lakers won 6. Because the Lakers won 5, and he won with the Bucks. Anyways, that's 2 guys to me that make a lot of sense as headliners. They're 2 of the greatest winners in NBA history. They both have won 6 finals, which is, again, towards the top in the history of the NBA. And they're both guys who make a lot of sense as being deserving of cards. But what I find really interesting about the potential of a championship festival is the amount of other guys who could be interesting names that we could get. For example, Robert Horry makes obvious sense as one of the greatest champions in NBA history, won a ton. A John Havlicek card at point guard with really good SIGs could be an awesome, super fun, maybe a little bit undersized point guard, but a great card at this point in the year. 6'5", so he's tall enough for standing dunk as well. Would be a very interesting card. Obviously, a Michael Cooper as a lower tier makes a lot of sense. Dennis Rodman potentially. I wish we could get a Kobe, but that ain't happening. Maybe Derek Fisher gets like a diamond or something to fill out the set. Same thing with a guy like Steve Kerr. A couple interesting names, though, to me are kind of, as we get lower on this list, guys like, for example, an Andre Iguodala. I don't think 2K had his rights at the beginning of the year, but they didn't have Blake Griffins or John Walls either. Both those guys got cards. Maybe they could get Iggy's rights. Who knows? Maybe we could get an Iggy card. That would be a neat one. Other guys, again, like Kevin McHale, that could be interesting. AC Green was incredible as a power forward. If we got like a small forward, power forward AC Green, that could be an incredible card. Same thing with a guy like Bruce Bowen, a Sean Livingston. Just, there's a variety of guys, obviously. You can go on and go through the list. And there's obviously just individual champions who could get cards as well, who maybe only won 1 championship or 2 championships. And a guy who immediately pops into mind for me, for example, he's not going to get a card if they did a festival about champions, but a guy like, for example, Dark Matter Andrew Wiggins. He got a card in the previous festival. He's obviously not going to get another festival card, but he was the second best player, in my personal opinion, on a team that won the championship for the Warriors. Like, that's the type of guy who would make a lot of sense for this. And this is, again, just me going off of what I personally think we could get, but it just makes a lot of sense with the way the game is and how much money they have made off of these Hall of Fame boxes, that we're going to get another festival here in the near future. And here's the positive. If we're looking for positive, a new festival, yes, it's an opportunity for people to spend money, and yes, a lot of people will get sucked in and spend way too much money. But for people who are not going to be spending MT, or spending money, like me, like a lot of other people, on a festival like this, there's a lot to look forward to, because there's going to be a lot of quality free cards. I mean, there absolutely were with the Glitched Festival, for example, when we got multiple high-level free cards such as Giddey, Peja, Ben Wallace, all of whom were very attainable. Even some of these lower tier guys like obviously Kling and Tari Eason, and some of like the Diamonds and Amethysts are really nice little filler cards and good options. And the same thing obviously can be said for the Signature Series Festival. J-Kidd was incredible. Wiggins, Gasol were good. Like, a lot of good, interesting lower tier cards and stuff as well. We could really see some cool, neat content with another festival here, and it could obviously give us the ability to hopefully add a couple of interesting cards to our team, make a little bit of MT. And the other thing it could do is drop the market as well, which obviously the market has already dropped a bit because of super packs today, but maybe it drops further with a really souped up Hoff box that drops a lot of like guaranteed higher tier cards. Could get a lot of higher tier cards also going on the market, and therefore drop the market further as well. So that's another interesting potential byproduct of an event that we could see. Either way, I do kind of hope, just for the spicing things up, that we get an event. Obviously, I don't love the money spent aspect of it, but it is good for content if nothing else, and I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.